Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who is going to join us. Please go ahead, say hello if you are here in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. We are streaming to both platforms. And if you bear with me, I'm going to find our live and go ahead and share with our group so everybody can find us easily. There it is. Groups, and there's our VIP and our team. Okay, there we are. All righty. Well, hello, Miss Kim. So glad you could make it. I'm so glad too. All right. We are featuring this week the Phrases and Frames bundle. It's a really cool bundle. It is one of our $1 Million Achiever sets. Oh, I can't think of her name. Can't remember her name. Anyhow, one of our Stampin' Up demonstrators who designed the set. So I'm excited to share that with you. Anyways, we'll go do our quick housekeeping and then we will get to Stampin'. Reminding everybody of the Scenic Coast class. You can still purchase that even though we are past the June 18th for the live. It is an on-demand class, so you can still purchase that. I believe it's $30 to take the class, and they give you all kinds of ideas for the Scenic Coast bundle. Love that suite of product. I've used it quite a bit. I've done 2 lives featuring it, and my friend Cindy and I are in the process of creating a class for that as well. Then, of course, there's Caper Pumpkin. We are now into the July subscription period. Holy smokes, I cannot even believe we're already there. But yeah, we have until July 11th or 10th rather to subscribe. If you're interested in the Hooray for Birthdays kit, this one will make 9 cards through each of 3 designs. You'll also receive 9 coordinating envelopes. These cards will make happy birthday stand-up easel cards. You'll receive holographic foil pieces, pre-cut paper pieces, and printed stickers. And the coordinating colors will be basic black, darling duckling, hydrangea hue, which is one of our new in colors that I absolutely love, melon mambo, old olive, timid tiger, and your ink spot will be, of course, timid tiger. It does have available add-on dies called detailed flora, and those are available while supplies last, and they are really cute dies, and I believe will really expand your kit quite a bit. The June product of the month is the Wild Bunch. Mine will be here Wednesday. These are so cute. A really adorable stamp set. If you spend $75 in product on the online website before shipping and tax, you can add on the Wild Bunch for just $5. And of course, we have our May online exclusives that dropped back in May. We have more coming in July, so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, right around the corner. This is our last week of June, if you can believe it. So yeah, we're moving right along. All right, on to tonight's projects. As I said, we are using the brand new Phases and Frames. Oh, hey, Kay. So glad you could make it this evening. This is a really cool set. The dies for this particular bundle are impression dies. So they cut and then you can emboss after you cut. And I will show you that, which gives you these really pretty detailed frames. So card number 1 is our happy anniversary. And what's really nice about the stamp set is you have nice sentiments for the outside of your card, but also the inside. How many times have you wished you had a stamp for the inside of your card? just to fill in that space along with your own little handwritten note, you now have a set that does offer that little bit of extra for the inside. So that's our happy anniversary, followed by a have a fabulous day. May your day be filled with love and happiness. Now, again, this could be a birthday card. It could be just a I'm thinking of you card and want you to have a wonderful day. I know, right? We've all wished it. You know, sometimes it's nice to be able to have all that white space and you can write your detailed note. But sometimes you don't have that much to say and you wish you just had a little inside sentiment to add to that card. So this set does offer that. It is amazing. And then, of course, like I said, we have this here, and then we have a thinking of you, and we have this detailed. Look at the pretty detail in that frame, and look how deeply etched and embossed that is. And then thinking of you, and then we have sending prayers and heartfelt sympathy to you and your family. So we always have to have those on hand. At least I know I have had to lately, unfortunately. So here we are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to grab my little packet here. So for our first card, it's our anniversary card. And we have all kinds of pieces and parts here. All right, so let's, should have cleaned off my table here and provided myself a little extra room, but I didn't. Kind of skidded in on my left ear cutting how to work today and getting home and getting here to do this. That's why I usually do it on Sundays, but I figured this week we really needed to let dads know we cared. So, all right. So I have a thick basic white card base, and it's cut 8.5 by 5.5, and I have it scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead, fold down that score line, make sure everything lines up, and press it out with our bone folder. So we have a nice crisp edge. Next, I have a piece of our designer series paper, which is the mixed patterns designer series paper. It's a 12 by 12 pack. And I have this piece in the bubble bath. And that is going to layer right on the center like so. So we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And this designer series paper, I did cut it at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So I wanted just a little bitty border all the way around. So there's our designer sheet paper. Next, I have a piece of bubble bath, and this is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And this is the piece I'm going to die cut. Find my dies. And I just took all of the dies I'm using. I pulled from different sets, and I'll tell you what sets they come from as we use them. But I kept them here for ease. If I can just pull that out. We're going to use this here die for our frame. So I'm going to set that. Whoop. I'm dropping my pieces here. We don't want to do that. There we go. All right. And I also have a piece of basic white cut the same size. So again, 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. I'm going to cut this die out twice. Oh, Kim, of course I did. We didn't want to go a whole week without coming to hang out with you guys. So, yes, I did it after a full day of work. But my work isn't too strenuous. I stare at a computer screen 90% of the time. Today, most of my day was spent creating fake patients for the new nurses that are coming on board to be trained on how to document in the computer. So, really, that was my day. Oh, me, I did forget my spritzer. All right, so bear with me. I need to grab our spritzer because we do want to spritz our cardstock. Sitting right here, of course I did. I will say I am using alcohol as in my spritzer because the alcohol dries a little quicker than water. So I'm going to start by just giving a fine mist to my cardstock. There we go. And then we're going to lay our die on here. I am going to use, let me bring that over so you can actually see. We're going to use our Big Boss. I know we usually use our Baby Boss, but we can do the cutting on our Baby Boss, but we can't do the embossing on it because our embossing mat is sized for the Big Boss. I'm hoping someday they do create one for our Baby Boss. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this out. So we have our normal sandwich for die cutting. All right. So now we pull this out. And we do not need our plates anymore. So now we've cut this out, but we are keeping our shim. So we have plate 1, our shim, which is number 2. And we're going to bring our die back with our cardstock frame still in place. And then we have our impressions mat. So that lays, make sure nothing shifts. That looks good. That goes on. And then we have our specialty plate, number 4. So you see that's number 4. And this is going to roll through just like so. So that goes through. Pull this off. And then when we pop this out, I'm going to use my little take your pick tool to help me push that out. Now you can see how deeply that is impressed. So you get that beautiful embossed design. I love this. All right, now I'm going to bring back my plates because we're going to cut out the white because we want the center for the white. So I'm going to bring that die back. And this is just going to run through again. And I'll just save that frame, even though it's not going to be as deeply etched and embossed as the pink one. It's still going to be embossed. So I'll just set this aside for another project in the future where I may want a white frame. So you'll see it's not, oops, too close, I guess, not as You can still see the pattern, but it's not as deep. So that's why spritzing it does make a big, big difference. Okay, so we want to keep this white center. And we're going to get this big old bad boy out of the way. Okay, so now we can go ahead. I'm going to use a little liquid glue. I've got my fine tipped bottle, which is filled with Tombow liquid adhesive. This little thing holds an entire container of the green glue. I just picked this up at my local Hobby Lobby. They're very inexpensive, but it does help me keep my glue under control, because if anybody knows me, I get a little messy with my liquid glue. And this just helps not be so messy. So we're going to set that down. Right. Try to get it up straight. There we go. There we go. Next, I've got my little centerpiece here, and I'm going to use Happy Anniversary. Here it is. And I have Strawberry Slush. Figured this would be a good color to pop out with all this bubble bath. So we're going to stamp right here on this white panel. And we're going to stamp Happy Anniversary. Just like so. And thank you, Kay. All right. So now we're going to find our dimensionals. Yep, brand new. And we're going to I'm going to put one in the middle as well, because we don't like those saggy centers. Peel off our backings. And then that just pops right into the center. Straight would be good. There we go. So there's our Happy Anniversary. And then I have here a little scrap of Lemon Lolly and another scrap of the bubble bath. Let's put this back. And to decorate this, I pulled out this little flower die, and that comes from our boutique. What is it called? No, I didn't bring it over. It's the Bloom Boutique. Bloom Boutique? Yeah, Bloom Boutique dies. We used that a while ago. That has all the like roses in it, but then they has these little extra dies in there, and I pulled this one to cut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack my little lemon lolly with my pinks. We can cut 2 out at a time. We're going to bring the baby boss in for this. The plates. And it does cut out 2 of these flowers at a time. So we need 2 pink and 1 lemon lolly. So we're going to run that through. We're going to get, and I do like to run it through just a couple times to make sure it cuts all the way through, because we do have nice heavy duty cardstock. So there's a lemon lolly and a butter. Yeah. Pink. And we're going to do 1 more pink. Bubble bath. And there we go. And this way, got to just pop out. So there we go. Put this back on the magnet so we do not lose it, and it goes to its proper home. And for these, I'm just going to grab 3 little, actually I only need 2. This one's going to go up on dimensionals. So we're going to use a couple of glue dots. So there's 1. There's 2. And dimensional, pop that one up. And then for this, I've got my rhinestones, because you know sparkle makes everything better. Get her. And then to make this card completely done, we need this one. Anniversaries are for celebrating the joy of today, the memories of yesterday, and the hopes of tomorrow. So we're going to bring back our card here and our strawberry slush. And cut this up. And there's our inside of our card. So we now have our anniversary card complete. Show it to you in the actual frame of the video here. And again, super easy, but I love that frame. And I love how deeply embossed it is. All right, so that's our first card. Second card, also very deeply etched and embossed. And this is our Have a Fabulous Day. May your day be filled with love and happiness. So for this card, I again have my little kit here that I put together. And put those over there. We have a thick white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead, fold on that score line, make sure everything lines up. That bone folder, because we like nice, crisp edges on our fold. And it also helps prevent any cracking. If you have cracking when you're folding your cards, it may be because you're not scoring it, or you're not using your bone folder to give it a good crisp edge. So just thought I would mention that. All right, next I have more of that designer series paper. This is the mixed up patterns, and this measures 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. No, actually, we're not going to add our adhesive because we're going to wrap it with a ribbon first. We need our tweezers because I need that third hand when I'm folding. Folding. Tying a ribbon. Okay. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad you like the cards so far. All right. So for this, we're just going to go ahead and tie a ribbon. I like to not be chintzy with my ribbon. I know it's hard not to because we have all this beautiful ribbon and we don't want to run out. But trust me, Stampin' Up! Comes out with new beautiful ribbon all the time. So use the ribbon just like your paper. Use it. Don't hoard it. And make sure you give yourself enough to tie your bows. I used to, like I said, chintz myself, and then I would struggle trying to tie the bows. And you know what? There is more ribbon out there. There's more ribbon coming out there. There's no need to hoard the ribbon. Oh yes, Tucker does help make cards. As a matter of fact, I thought he was behind me coming up, but he decided my husband was going to go take a nap, but I think he decided a nap sounded better. Okay, there we go. Oh, we're gonna put that in a little like so. There. So that looks pretty good. And we're just going to trim our tails just a little. Yes, he is definitely my craft room buddy. He's 90% of the time up there with me. All right, and now this goes into the center of our card. Looks pretty good. So there's that. Then I have, once again, I have a piece of basic white. This measures, I believe it's the same this one's 2.5 by 4 1/4. And I have balmy blue, also 2.5 by 4 1/4. So same way I did the other frame, I'm going to do this one as well. And this one we're using this here little frame. And for this one, we're going to cut it out twice. Again, from the balmy blue, and then we're going to get the center oval from our basic white. So for this, we are going to spritz. Let me set these aside and we can bring in our big boss. Oh my goodness. Back in. So we're just gonna spritz our balmy blue. And again, using a little alcohol so that it dries quickly. But what it does is it softens the fibers of our paper. And by softening the fibers, that's what gives us that really super embossed appearance. All right, so now we're going to remove our plates. We want to make sure that stays in place. So we can get these out of the way. Plate comes out. This lays right directly on top. Bring it in. Our impressions mat. That lays down like so. Specialty plate number 4 lays on top. And away it goes. So we can, oops, remove this. We're just going to pop that out. And there is that really beautifully etched, embossed piece. All right, so we're going to set that aside. I'm going to bring our plates back. And we're going to cut this out once more. So we have our white piece. Oh, no worries, Kim. Totally understand. Totally understand. So there's our oval that we need. And like I said, these other extra pieces get set aside for future projects. Even though they're not, again, you can see the difference in spritzing versus not spritzing. You see the pattern in there, but not near as, of course, we haven't embossed this yet either. We didn't put this through the impressions plate, so that makes a big difference as well. But spritzing and then embossing with the mat makes a huge difference, as you can see. All right, so now we can put the die back so we don't lose it, because if you've been around this channel any length of time, you do know dies make their way into that table, and then I spend hours looking for them. So oh, awesome. So you can listen even if you can't watch. Awesome. All right. So now we have our innards. So for this, I am going to go ahead and we're going to use some dimensionals. Nice. There they are. And in the 4 corners, we're just going to add like so. And then we can peel the backing off. And bring our card back. And then we're just going to go over the top of our ribbon. And that looks pretty center and straight. So we're going to put that down like so. And we bring back our oval. And for this, we need Have a Fabulous Day And we are stamping that in one of my most favorite in colors, Secret C. So we're going to do have a fabulous day. No, we'll keep that open for now because we're going to use that again. Okay. And we're going to set that aside. And we use the scrap. Okay, so now I need my little flower. Now this little flower, this comes from the Ouch bundle. It has a coordinating die. I didn't bring the stamp set over, but this is the dies. So it's this little flower here, and we will be die cutting it. Yeah, this comes from the Ouch. So we're just using this, and I'm going to stamp 2 in Secret C. Like I said, I love this color. Probably my favorite in color ever. I tend to gravitate to the blues. I don't know why. I always have. But what strength of alcohol? I usually use about 70%. Sometimes, though, I do use a higher. But 70% is my most frequently used strength. But if I need like instant dry, go higher. The 70% gives you, it's like it does dry much faster than spritzing with water, but it at the same time it dries slow enough to like do something like this where you're cutting and then you're going to do the embossing after. All right, so that was Balmy Blue that I just stamped that one flower in. And now I'm going to grab the coordinating die. And we're going to have to run this through a few times. Because again, we need 3 of them. 2 in the Secret C. And the 1 Balmy Blue. So we're going to go ahead. I am going to use a little Post-it tape just to help. Not hope, but help. I guess hope too, that we get this cut without shifting. And we're going to bring the baby boss into the picture for this. And there's that. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed those. Like I said, it was kind of a no-brainer for me as a nurse. I had to have them. There's that one. Of course, I could say that about a lot of things I have to have. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. All right, so there's our second Secret C flower. And now we need our little Balmy Blue flower. let's try to line up and not move around. That looks better. There. Okay, so now I put that back on the magnet. And we're going to add a couple of dimensionals to our oval piece here. One at the top, one at the bottom, because we're going to go right over the top of that ribbon. Just like so. And again, we're going to need a couple glue dots here. I'm trying to there was still one on this one. Yes. Okay, so we are going to grab a glue dot, and that's going to go here. There it is. And one more. Oh, well, thank you, Kim. Okay, so there is our little flowers. And just like the other one, we got to have the glitz and the glam. So we're bringing back rhinestones. I will admit, rhinestones are probably one of my most favorite embellishments because they go with almost everything. And I guess I like the sparkle. I'm a sparkly girl. All right. And now we got to do our inside. So we have a fabulous day. Is this the one? Nope. Nope, you're not it. Did I? May your day be filled with love and happiness. Where the heck did I? There it is. Okay. And for that, we are going to bring back that secret C again. May your day be filled with love and happiness. There it is. And that completes our second card. The rhinestones, I have colored them. And it's really easy to do with your Stampin' Blends. They take the color very, very well. And I do like to do that if I really am looking for something to be more monochromatic or to pop a little bit more than just a plain gemstone. Yeah. But again, super easy to do with Stampin' Blends with the alcohol-based markers. They color super easy and they stay nice. All right, we are on to our final card, which is our thinking of you. This is kind of a sympathy card When you open it up, it's sending prayers and heartfelt sympathy to you and your family. And for this one, we're using the large frame. And we are going to pull that out right now. This is a really big. This one you could easily use as a frame in your scrapbooking if you're a scrapper. This you could actually frame a photo with this one. It does measure from point to point up here. It's like 5 and 5 and 5/8 by 4 1/4, or almost 4 1/4. It's probably 4 and an eighth wide, point to point. So it's a little bit, it's actually a little bit more than 5 1/2. As you can see, the points are just barely coming off the back of that card. But they are amazing dies. Yes, Kay, they are. They are super awesome. And I love the pattern that this one creates. It's almost like a leaf with a vein running through it all the way around. Oh, you got them today? Awesome. Well, you're going to have to pull them out and play with them. And like I said, definitely play with the spritzing, because that is going to give you that really super deep pattern. All right, so for this card, easy peasy. I have another thick basic white card base. This time I went 11 by 4 1/4, and we scored at 5 1/2. So again, just making sure those points line up on the edges. Bring in that bone folder and press it out. Then I have a piece of hydrangea hue, which is another new favorite in color. And I cut this to be 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 to make sure I could fit the die on the whole thing. And as you can see, there's very little wiggle room there. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to bring back our big boss. Goodness. And where's our spritzer? Just had it. And I'm going to spritz my cardstock. All this alcohol being spritzed around. It sounds like a dentist office in here for some reason. Not for some reason. It's because I'm spraying alcohol. Okay, so there's all set up. And now we're just going to run this through. Run it through. And there it goes. So now I'm going to remove our plates because we don't need those. And we're just going to remove all this excess. Get rid of this plate. And then this is going to just, everything just kind of fits back into the die the way it's supposed to. Get this down. Specialty plate and run it through. There we go. Oop. And there's the beautiful frame. So now I set that aside. Get all this aside. Now, for this, I'm going to bring back my liquid glue. And we're just going to nice thin. And this just goes right on the center. Oop. Straight. There we go. So there's that piece. Then we have our centerpiece. We're keeping this, and we're going to go ahead and add adhesive. And that goes down like so. Next, I have a scrap of basic white. And I'm going to bring in the Thinking of You. And I have the Hydrangea Hue ink pad. So we're just going to go ahead and ink this up. I'm going to say Thinking of You. Let the ink all transfer over. And there we have it. This is a really super juicy ink pad. And while we have it open, we're going to go ahead and stamp our inside. There's our sending prayers. Clean our stamp. And now, set that aside for just a minute, and I'm going to bring in our circle die. This is from the Stylish Shapes dies. And I am using the second largest die. And we're going to bring in our baby boss for this. Get that centered. I think that looks pretty good. Run that through. And there's our thinking of you. So this is going to get some dimensionals. And that's going to go right here in this corner, about like so. Then I have the coordinating hydrangea hue ribbon. And for this, I'm just going to tie a bow. So top and bottom for you touch. Yes, they do touch a full card base. As a matter of fact, like I said, there is just a smidgy of overhang. It's not going to affect a envelope or anything, but you can see it just comes over just a smidge. But it's not bad. But like I said, it would be a really good frame to use if you're a scrapper. You could definitely frame a photo. Could really have fun with that one. Okay. And now we need one more glue dot. There we go. On that knot. And that's going to go just like that. And then, I am using the In Color butterflies. These are so pretty. Oh, have fun, Kim. Enjoy your dinner, and we will see you next week for sure. Thank you for coming to hang out. We really appreciate it. I know I do. All right, so we're just going to add a couple of butterflies. So we're going to do a hydrangea hue there. And we'll do a couple of plate ones. Going off there. And that, my friends, finishes our card. All righty. So, real quick recap. This is our thinking of you. We have a fabulous day. And then, of course, we have our anniversary card here. And as always, there will be a PDF of the measurements and full instructions for all three of these cards. It'll go up on my blog tomorrow, if not tonight. And I will be emailing out for any subscribers. They get the PDF delivered right to their inbox. So that'll be going out, if not tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. I'll get those out to you. So if you're not already a subscriber, the link is in my description of the video. Whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, you can snag that link and you will be able to get the PDFs when I go live every Sunday. I do send those out on Monday. This week we are on Monday and not on Sunday because we did want everybody to hang out with their dads and dad figures and all that for yesterday. So they felt appreciated and not snubbed by stamping. So, all right, my friends, that is all I have. Yes, okay, this whole This bundle is very elegant, I have to say. But it again, very simple. And I love these frames because they can be mixed and matched, and you could do a lot with it. This is just a touch, just a scratching of the surface of what you could do with this set for sure. All right, friends, again, thank you for coming to hang out with me. I really, truly appreciate you. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Monday and a fabulous week ahead. And I will see you Sunday with some more stamping fun. Bye for now. Oh, absolutely, Miss K. It is 100% my pleasure always to share with you guys. Bye now.